What happens when a highly respected doctor faces racial profiling in his own community? This gripping story follows Dr. Alejandro Reyes, a Mexican-American neurosurgeon who not only overcomes blatant racism but also transforms an entire police department. It was a chilly night in a quiet suburb, the kind of neighborhood where streetlights flicker and silence lingers. Dr. Alejandro Reyes, an esteemed neurosurgeon, was driving home after a grueling 16-hour shift. The weight of saving lives hung heavy on his shoulders, but so did the pride of his work. But tonight, something else lingered. As Alejandro's car rolled through the stillness, the flash of red and blue lights shattered his moment of calm. Pulled over for reasons unclear, he braced himself for what was to come. Officer Garrett, a young, ambitious cop with a chip on his shoulder, approached Alejandro's window. Garrett's eyes scanned the car and its driver, his mind already jumping to conclusions. What's someone like him driving this kind of car doing in this neighborhood? The pretext was simple: a broken taillight. But Alejandro knew the truth ran deeper. Calm and composed, Alejandro rolled down his window. "Good evening, officer," he said, his tone polite but firm. Garrett, however, wasn't interested in pleasantries. "License and registration. What are you doing in this area at this hour?" Alejandro complied, handing over his documents. "I'm on my way home from the hospital," he explained, pointing to his scrubs. But Garrett wasn't convinced. "Is this your car? You're a doctor, huh? Got any proof of that?" Humiliation began to creep in as Alejandro produced his hospital ID. But even that wasn't enough to quell Garrett's suspicion. As Garrett searched Alejandro's car without consent, Alejandro's mind wandered. He thought of his journey, growing up as a first-generation Mexican-American, working tirelessly through medical school and dedicating his life to saving others. Months earlier, Alejandro had faced one of the most critical surgeries of his career. Captain Julia Henderson, a decorated police officer, had been rushed into the ER after collapsing during a department meeting. Henderson had suffered a severe brain aneurysm, and the odds of survival were slim. Alejandro's colleagues debated whether to operate, given the complexity of the case, but he stepped forward without hesitation. "This is someone's mother, someone's wife. We have to try." For hours, Alejandro worked with precision and focus. The room was tense, every second critical. He navigated the intricate web of blood vessels in her brain, repairing the damage with the utmost care. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, the surgery was a success. Captain Henderson's vitals stabilized, and the team erupted in quiet relief. When Henderson regained consciousness days later, she asked to meet the man who had saved her life. "Thank you, Dr. Reyes. You didn't just save me, you saved my family." Alejandro's humility shone through as he reassured her that it was a team effort. But deep down, he felt a renewed sense of purpose. Just as the situation seemed poised to escalate further, another police cruiser pulled up. Out stepped Captain Henderson, a commanding presence with years of experience. "What's going on here?" Her voice cut through the tension like a knife. Garrett stiffened but kept his posture. "Just pulling him over for a broken taillight, ma'am. But I requested backup because he was acting very suspicious." But as Captain Henderson's eyes fell on Alejandro, recognition dawned. Her expression shifted from confusion to shock. Captain Henderson turned to Garrett, her voice laced with fury. "Do you have any idea who this is? This man saved my life. He's a hero, and you're treating him like a criminal. You and I are going to have a very thorough conversation when we get back to the station." Garrett's face paled as the weight of his actions sank in. Captain Henderson turned to Dr. Reyes and reassured him. I'm so sorry this happened to you. We have a lot of work to do, and I promise you, we'll do better." The incident didn't end there. Captain Henderson ensured Garrett faced disciplinary action, including mandatory training on racial profiling. She also used the moment to spark a department-wide reform initiative. As Alejandro drove home, he reflected on the night's events. He thought of the battles he'd fought, the lives he'd saved, and the resilience he carried. In the end, Alejandro's story wasn't just about one night or one encounter. It was about the power of perseverance, the necessity of accountability, and the humanity we owe each other. Stories like Alejandro's remind us of the work still left to do. It's time to reflect, to act, and to build a world where respect and dignity are universal. Join the conversation. Share this video. Let's inspire change together.